Hi everyone. Hello. I'm excited to be here and we're going to be doing an interview with the amazing health coach Joey Romeo shortly. I'm just going to hang on until he joins us so that we can get started. But welcome to everyone who's joining us now. Great to see you all. And yeah, hi Nicola. Yeah, looking forward to getting started and talking to Joey. Just whilst we're waiting for Joey to arrive, I'm just going to just make sure he's okay getting here and everything. But I know myself, the reason why I wanted to invite Joey was to talk to you guys was, hi Noreen, hi Nicola Parish. The reason why I wanted to invite him in was because when I started my coaching business, I actually put on quite a bit of weight because I went from being quite an active psychotherapist and all over the place, with clients, moving a lot and doing lots of different exercise and yoga and meditation, to being sat behind a computer a lot of the time. And, I did find myself putting on a couple of stone actually. And I found it really difficult to shift as well. So Joey specializes in working with coaches, speakers, trainers who are really busy and showing them how they can, keep fit and lose weight at the same time whilst, on a busy schedule, not necessarily being able to, just be at home to cook meals, or maybe being stuck behind a computer 24/7 as well. So you're just not getting as much activity as you might need. So so that was why I wanted to bring him on board. So we'll just going to keep an eye out for him. Let me just make sure that he's going to just check he's not trying to contact me in any other way. So let's just see. Okay, well, he's not here yet. Let me just see if he is trying to contact some other way. And as always happens, everything gets logged out just whilst I'm just whilst I'm on here. There we go. Let me log myself back in. There we are. Let's just see. Okay, I'm just going to move myself slightly across. There we go, whilst I'm trying to just see how Joey's getting on arriving. Ah, perfect, he's here. Fantastic. Perfect timing. There we go. And like by magic. Hi, John. Hi, John Boys. Hey, great, you're here. Yeah, really good.
Okay. Thank you for
Fantastic.
having me.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah, so I'm really excited to have you here. So I was just telling everyone whilst you were joining how excited I am to speak to you because you're a health coach and you work specifically with coaches, busy coaches and trainers and speakers. And I remember when I started my business, I did actually put on quite a bit of weight in the first few years because I was stuck behind a computer. So I'm super excited to hear your tips and hopefully help others to avoid what happened to me or perhaps lose weight if that's what they want to as well. Um, so Joey, just tell everyone a little bit about you and and what you do.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. First of all, can you hear me okay? Is it coming through clearly?
Yes, it's fine. It's fine.
Hello?
Yep, I
Hello.
can hear you fine.
Is it connection?
There's a
Hello?
little bit of a delay on the
My
connection.
okay. Awesome. So can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So hi, thank you for having me. My name is Joey. I'm Joey Romeo, and like you said, I work specifically with entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, and people who want to show up as their best self, who want to look and feel the part, right? And also to feel healthy and to be free of pain, free of illness, and to be able to have the impact that they want to make with their coaching business or with their speaking business or whatever it is that they specialize in. The reason that I do this is because one of the biggest problems that we face as entrepreneurs is that, you know, we have so many demands, we wear so many hats, and, you know, as we're serving people, the hardest thing is to actually serve ourselves and to keep ourselves in a great energy. And of course, when we're running around and we're serving different clients, and, you know, we're growing our business and we've got so many different things that we're focusing on, our eating and our fitness tends to be, you know, fall to the wayside. So I'm really, really passionate about helping people to create a lifestyle that allows them to have the energy that they need, and to do it in just 15 minutes a day, or to do it in less time, so that it frees up the time and they have the energy and the focus for their business, for their family, etc. So yeah, that's what I'm all about. That's what I love doing. So yeah, hopefully this is going to add a lot of value to people watching. I truly believe this is such a powerful thing that people miss, because a lot of people focus on strategy, they focus on business and implementation. However, we are limited by our energy and by our health. So I'm really passionate about this, and I absolutely love working with coaches and consultants to help them to do that.
Amazing, amazing. So how did you get into the work that you're doing now? Tell us a bit about your story. Oh, unfortunately, we've just lost um, Joey just now. Hopefully, he will come back. Hi to everyone that's watching. Hi, Aisha. Um, yeah, so that's a shame we've just lost him. If it doesn't work out and the internet connection is not strong enough for us to do the interview, I will record it offline and then post it for you guys so you guys can see it. We'll just see whether Joey can make it back or not. Um, in the meantime, we'll just give him a moment, see if he makes it back or not. But I'd love to hear, has anyone here worked with a health coach at all during your time as a coach, or even before that? If you want to post anything about your experiences. Because one of the things that I did was I actually got a health coach probably a few years ago now. I was having some symptoms that were related to a health condition I suffer with, and the that was one of the best things I did, was to get that support with with what I was dealing with. And some of the things that I was suggested to do were things that I wouldn't have done on my own at all. I would never, I'm pretty healthy and pretty good at looking after myself, but I just would never have made the connection that the health coach made, that Simone made. It was amazing. But the main thing was the support, and being able to talk to her about what I was going through was so incredibly helpful. And since then, I haven't suffered with any of those symptoms. So I've been it completely reversed everything I was dealing with at the time, and also actually reversed some of the weight issues that had happened, which were related as well to that health condition. So yeah, so this is kind of an area that I'm really passionate about. But I also know that our ability to grow our business and be successful with our businesses is really related to how well we look after ourselves as well. So looks like Joey is back. Fantastic. Let's There we go. You're back.
I'm back.
we got we got cut off. So I was just asking you at that point, how did you get into what you're doing now?
Awesome. Yeah, so actually the way I got into it was I was looking to become a doctor. Okay, and I had some injuries, and on that journey, as I was working in a hospital, I had my degree in biomedical science, and I was looking after these patients, and I wasn't able to fully look after myself. I thought I was fit, I thought I was healthy, but it started to decline. I needed to take medications for my knee injury, and I started to experience all the side effects of that. So I was completely lost, and I got to the point that I couldn't walk, couldn't run, I couldn't continue working, and I was so stressed, and I think I was really depressed at the time that I just couldn't change anything about my situation. So I started to really explore, what is it that creates health? How do I rehabilitate my health, my knee, my emotions, my life, and do it in a way that didn't require medications and doctors and things like that? So I started to go on this journey, and I started to explore biohacking, DNA testing. I started to do meditation and focusing on lifestyle. I even did a weird technique where you put your legs up on a bed or a sofa, lying on your back for half an hour a day to reset my nervous system, to reduce the
Uh-huh.
stress. Because at the time I couldn't even sleep. The heart palpitations were so bad that I physically couldn't sleep because
Mm.
every other beat was just boom, boom, boom. I was so scared I was going to have a heart attack.
Mm.
So I became a master personal trainer, and then I started to add in different techniques, like Buteyko breathing techniques, which is a breathing technique developed like for NASA, going into space or going in submarines. It retrains the respiratory center in the brain. So I started to pick up all these like techniques for biohacking and breathing and lifestyle and meditation, nutrition, and I started to put it together in a way that was really, really simple for people, like a really simple daily routine that was completely tailored to them based on their genes, completely tailored based on their health, whether they have autoimmune or back pain, or whether they can't lose weight because of hormonal challenges. And I started to like come up with these really specific daily plans that were tailored to each individual. And because it didn't take
Wow.
much time, and because it allowed people to eat the foods that they love, people started to get results, and also the results were lasting. Like even after 6 months, after a year, of just doing a 3-month program, they were still getting results, improving their health, because of the fact it was so sustainable and so tailored to what they needed. So I absolutely love it. One of the biggest challenges I've hit as an entrepreneur was, even after learning most of this stuff, I then hit the challenge of burnout, even knowing a lot of this stuff. So it's so important that it's not about what you're doing, it's about the ratio and the proportion, and how much of that you're doing. Because if you're
Okay.
watching this right now, if someone's watching and they're not losing weight or they're not improving their health, it could be that they're doing most of the things that they need to do, but it could just be how you put them all together that makes all the difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that
So yeah.
does. That does. Wow. So, what advice do you have for, for people who are watching around how, the things that they can do, easily do, that are going to help them to, lose weight and have more energy? Because, we're all on the
Yep.
run a lot of the time.
Hmm.
What what would you recommend?
Awesome. So a great starting point. A lot of people have heard of intermittent fasting, but what you can do is you can stack a few things together. I want to keep this as simple as possible. I would recommend wake up,
Hmm.
drink drink a pint of water, because that will increase metabolism by a third for an hour and a half. It'll increase the calorie burn. Maybe have some caffeine if you have caffeine, and then do like a fasted walk or fasted light activity for even just 10 minutes, 10 up to 30 minutes before breakfast, right? And if you can get outside as well, you've got the benefits of sunlight. It will improve your wake cycle, right? So it'll help improve your sleep. So really simple: water, wake up, light activity, and then get straight into your work after you've had breakfast. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you could wake up, drink lots of water, and fast for a couple of hours, and use that 2 hours as a work block, right? So you can really focus on your business. Okay, but I encourage, write some gratitude or something beforehand. So and actually you can use the fasting to create more productivity and to improve
Uh-huh.
your focus, and then just make sure that you have a good breakfast. The big mistake people make is that they try and do everything at once. Okay, so if wherever you're at, if someone's looking to lose weight, probably what you've done in the past is you tried to change everything at once, and it's become overwhelming, and after 2 or 3 weeks you're like, what's the point? It's so tough, I can't continue this. It's like, you know what I mean, it's such a drag. So actually, if you just focus on 1 or 2 small changes, small habits this week, and then next week focus on another 1 or 2, and just gradually build it up bit by bit. So the biggest thing, especially as entrepreneurs, a lot of us tend to be quite all or nothing people. And, to break out of that, it is a case of just focus on the one or two habits that make the biggest impact. I'm sure you would say it's very similar in business. If you have a few key things that you do very well and consistently, that will create more results. It's the same with your health and fitness. So just exercising twice a week, even for 15 minutes, lots of water, a healthy breakfast, and maybe a bit of fasting. That's a great place to start, and that might be enough for most people to get to the results that they want, right? And then it's just a case of consistency and listening to your body and adapting and kind of eating some of the right foods, but also allowing yourself to have the little treat every now and again. Because as soon as you tell yourself you're not allowed that, right, you're not allowed to eat that at all, for a lot of people, they'll just be thinking about it all the time. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that helps. Hopefully there's some useful tips there for people.
Yeah, that's really great. And I mean, I know, like for me, sometimes I'm out at networking events and the food is not necessarily the healthiest, or I'm traveling to see clients. So I'm having to pick something up from a garage, which is horrendous. What is your advice around being able to, pick up something that's healthy when you're on the go?
Yeah, this is a great one. So one little strategy that I like to use is I sometimes prepare a little snack box. And with that, I'll put in nuts, seeds. I might put some dark chocolate in there. Some clients like to chop up even protein bars and add that into it as well. So you can have that as you go along. But in terms of meals, it's either a case of preparing something quick in the morning, even just a few minutes, you can create a balanced lunchbox, right? Or like I've actually got a cheat sheet. And so if anyone who's watching this, I'm happy to share that cheat sheet with them. And it's just like a couple of pages of a few key places like M&S, Leon, Pret, and places like that, that actually here's some really tasty lunches that you can buy on the go that are healthy and will help them to lose fat. So it's kind of, I would
Oh,
say it's looking at your schedule, understanding when you're not going to be able to eat for a while, and either being able to prep and add something in that's right for you, or having a backup of somewhere that you can buy something, but then now you've got an idea of something that's healthy on the go. Does that make sense?
that
Yeah,
does.
cool.
That
So I
does.
will I'll send you that cheat sheet, and anyone who wants that cheat sheet, just comment below this video, and I'll reach out and send it to you. Yeah, and yeah, more than happy
We've
to share
we've
that with
already
anyone.
got a yes. So we've
Oh,
already
awesome,
got some
cool,
yeses coming through. So perfect.
awesome,
Yeah, we will get that cheat sheet to you. I'll pop it into the comments afterwards.
awesome.
Fantastic. That's super helpful.
My pleasure.
And I guess probably another good question to ask you is a lot of people probably start a new sort of healthy kind of, okay, I'm going to be really healthy and get started and they're really motivated and it all
Mm,
goes really well. It might even be for 6 months, it might even be for a year and they lose some weight and everything's going really well. But then, Christmas happens or,
yeah.
maybe you just, you end up like drinking a lot one weekend, going out for a party or whatever, and you just kind of fall a bit off the wagon,
Mm,
or you just get out of the habit. Something happens, you get out of the habit of going to the gym, or, for me, it's like I've got out of the habit of going swimming because I got fed up with never being able to get space in the lanes. Just so I really want to get back, but it's like,
yeah.
how do you handle that? When suddenly you've got out of the habit, how do you get back into it? And
That's a really good question, and it's happens to everyone, right? It's always going to happen. Something takes you out of your schedule. The first thing is to re-clarify your goal for sure. You want to really be so clear on what's the strongest reason that you're doing this, and how is that going to impact everything else? Because the mindset is that most of the time something will happen, and then other things become more important. So then it's a case of reprioritizing. Once you decide, okay, now I know I want to do it, I know why it's important to me, but I just can't bring myself to do it, or I don't know how to start getting back into it, or I just don't have the time. I would say that a really good place to start would be to just go to the place that you're going to. So if you're going to go swimming, just go to that place and have a drink there, or meet someone there for a coffee, or even just go in and just do 5 minutes. I had one client who they had such a resistance at the beginning to go into the gym that I just told them, just go to the gym and have a shower before work. And they were like, what? So don't even go in the gym? Like, no, just go in the building, have your shower there, and then go to work. He's like, oh, okay. And it built a micro habit. So now he'd gotten over the first hurdle of, I've made it into the building. Most people, they just can't take that first step. And once you've taken the first step, it becomes a bit easier. But then another thing you can do is you could just start off and do, like, say, a 5-minute home workout of a couple of stretches, maybe a core exercise, maybe some squats, and just do 5 minutes and just say, that's my first goal. Oftentimes we go, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it big, right? I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to swim 3 times a week and this and that. So you know straight away in your subconscious mind, you're going, as soon as I start, I'm going to have to be all in. And I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure I'm ready for that right now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's actually just overcoming that first hurdle will help you build momentum. And when you set the bar lower, you've got a smaller bar for success. Now you're coming from inspired action. You see what I mean? You've taken the first step, you've got, boom, first win. I've made it into the building, or I've done a 5-minute workout. Amazing. What's the next one? I'll do 10 minutes. And then you set 10 minutes, you might even do half an hour because you're so inspired that you've done more. And before you know it, you've now gotten into the flow of it. But it's really important. The big mistake people make is it doesn't become a part of who they are. It doesn't become part of their identity. And therefore, it's a separate part of their life. Soon as it becomes an integral part of your life and you create that identity shift, that creates the transformation, and that it becomes so easy to do it consistently. And that's where I help people break through, because people will get to a certain point and they'll hit a barrier, or they'll hit a plateau, or they'll stop losing weight at a certain point. And at that point, they've got an important decision. Do I push myself harder and harder and harder, right? Or do I need to reapproach it? And most people will just push harder and go, okay, this has been working till now, but now I need to really push harder. But it's kind of like that saying, if you, you know, the saying where it's like, you can, if you do the same thing and you're just pushing harder and harder, then,
Yeah.
you know, oh no, sorry, the saying of like, what's got you to where you are now will not get you to where you're wanting to go. You're going to have to do something differently, right? So oftentimes what I actually help people do is actually help them to do less and to simplify what they're doing, and to figure out what is the Pareto principle, what's the 20% of the 20% that's been creating most of the results, and how can we do more of that and tailor it even more. So in answer to your question, set a really small bar, make it a very small change, and celebrate that win, no matter how small it is, and then drive off of inspiration, and then you'll come from power rather than force.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, and as you were talking, I was just thinking it'd be really lovely to hear some of your inspiration client stories. If it's okay to
Yeah,
share, maybe a
of course.
couple of clients you work with, it would just be great to hear about the journey they went on with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so one client, his name's Donald, and he came to me because he had some health issues. His doctor said he needed to go onto statins and other medications, things for heart, blood pressure, cholesterol, because it was alarming, right, at the time. So
Yeah.
he started working with me, and he was traveling to Germany every week as well, right? So
Wow.
he's got a family, middle-aged, he's got a family, he's traveling to Germany every week and doing consulting, staying in hotels. So he really had no time whatsoever. And he wanted to play football on the weekends, but he was struggling with the fitness and he was bouncing off of players. We started to integrate some really quick routines that he could do in the morning, or in between meetings, as well as on the go, and when he was staying away at hotels, and quick foods that he could take on the go. And even over the Christmas period was in the middle of this 12-week program. Even over that 12 weeks, and he wanted to lose a stone. He lost 1 stone. He flattened his stomach completely. So now when he's presenting, he improved his posture. He now
Yeah.
feels that he really looks the part. He's
Yeah.
way more confident. Other players are bouncing off of him playing football. And of course, the best part, his health is so much more on point. His cholesterol came back to the perfect level, even better than normal. Blood pressure, everything, and he didn't need to take any medications whatsoever. Then another client, he was struggling with weight loss. He's literally tried everything, wanted to build strength, wanted to build confidence. And again, he didn't like the gym. So we figured out a way that he could do it at home, on the go, without spending much money. And he ended up losing about 35 pounds over 12 weeks,
Wow.
which is like 2.5 stone. And again,
Wow.
built muscle, and he had scoliosis in the spine. So he's completely corrected his posture and realigned his spine, and gotten rid of his back pain as well. So hopefully you can see why I'm so passionate about what I do.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And just in that piece where just when the connection went out, I was just telling everyone about a little bit about my own journey with
Mm,
having a health coach, how much it really supported me as well. And like I spent about a year and a half working with a health coach, and I don't have any symptoms that I was suffering with then, and I'm two
mm.
stone lighter, and it stayed off.
Wow,
Like,
that's
and
amazing.
I'm not doing a huge amount of exercise. I do exercise every day, but it's just walking and it's really fun. It's in the fields near where I live. So it's very easy. And sometimes I do some stretches and things and I meditate, but it feels easy.
Yeah,
But the main thing was actually just changing some of the foods. So reducing I don't have foods with salt in them. And that
mm,
was the main thing that I needed to do. And I don't have dairy or as much, I don't have milk basically, or milk
yeah,
products.
yeah,
And that's been huge. That really reduced the kind of problem that I was suffering with, which, you know, I wouldn't have got that information from my doctors. They've been amazing, but they would
exactly.
never have suggested that change. And I can still have some cheese occasionally. It's not
Yeah,
like it's totally off the
likewise.
menu, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's just very, very occasional, and I have to I have to know, okay, I'm going to have a bit of cheese, but that means the next few days I have to be really, like, really good, not
Yeah,
have any salt, or make everything from scratch. But that's cool,
yeah.
it's that balance, isn't it?
Exactly, and that's the thing, because some people experience different problems. For some people, their challenge might be stress. Other people, it might be digestion. Other
Yeah.
people, it could be more serious. It could be weight gain or worse. So it's different for each person. And it's funny that you say that with the dairy, because I didn't realize I was lactose intolerant until I did my DNA test. So before I would do a workout and I'd down a pint of milk, and the next day, um, quite a few occasions I'd get a sore throat, or I'd be ill, or it'd just be run
Wow.
down, and I didn't attribute it to the milk at all. And then I realized when I was lactose, and when I got the test through, I was like, okay, that makes so much sense now, and I didn't even clock it. So, sometimes, I teach people how to eat without restriction. However, there are some foods that if you are intolerant to, then we have to find other solutions to not be eating that, and find ways of still having what you love. But that's such a big one, because quite a few people can be intolerant to gluten or dairy or lactose. Yeah, so it's really, really powerful. Um, I'm glad that you've had that experience, because I do believe that as entrepreneurs, we really need to take full responsibility for our health. I was
Oh,
so dependent on my doctor before, and now it's just like I'll do anything I can to not need a physio, a doctor, a therapist, or whatever. It was the same with my clients. It's all about being self-sufficient, but serving yourself first. I think that's really the key. Because if you're always doing everything for other people, especially a lot of people who coach, where generally we tend to be such caring, giving people. We love to help people. We're passionate about what we do, but we have to be able to prioritize ourselves first, so that our cup is full, and therefore it overflows, and we can give more to the people that we care about and the people that we work with. So yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And actually, there's a real link between seeing your income rise along with how much
100%.
you also look after your vibration. Because if you're,
Definitely.
to keep your vibration up, you've got to be looking after yourself. Otherwise, you get, you might be like working with lots of clients, but you're drained out, so you're not able
Exactly.
to really be there and support them fully. Yeah,
I've
amazing.
noticed
So,
that. I've noticed that big time, actually, that it's keeping that vibration. And the worse your health is, the more effort it is to raise your vibration, the harder it is. It's like trying to climb a brick wall. It becomes so much more effort. So I would definitely give people the advice to relax into it, focus on deep breathing throughout the day as well, opening, stretching intermittently between meetings, rather than doing a big stretch if you don't have time. Just do a couple of
okay.
stretches between, just to raise your energy a little bit as well. Yeah,
That's a really good idea. I hadn't thought about that. That's a really, really good idea. Um, I'm yeah. So we're starting to get some questions now. Do you mind if I ask you
awesome.
some questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Always up
Uh,
for it. Yeah.
okay. So John Boyce is asking, I'd like to get off blood pressure medication. Do you have any suggestions?
Mm. Yeah, this is a good one. So, um, To start with, a really, really simple thing to do, just to make sure you do every day, is have a handful of mixed nuts and seeds every day. Okay, so you've heard the expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We should also be having a handful of mixed nuts and seeds because it's got different things in there that will help regulate our blood pressure. That's one. I would measure your blood pressure in the morning and your heart rate. Pay attention to how stressed you are, and I would do deep breathing exercises from time to time. Okay, so like almost you can do box breathing technique. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and then hold for 4 at the bottom. And then the other thing with blood pressure is, doing exercise is really, really key. So you want to do some form of, something that's going to be building strength, and then something that's also going to push your cardiovascular system a little bit, kind of like HIIT training. Now, obviously, as entrepreneurs, we want to have minimal time. You can do like minimal exercise for the maximum return. You may have heard of this, but studies have shown that between 4 to 12 minutes of exercise is just as effective as like an hour of exercise when it's done at the right intensity. So I would encourage you to do like, do interval training where you go up, down, you push yourself a little bit more and then relax a little bit. But I would also pay attention to not doing it on days that you feel particularly stressed, because then we don't want to overstimulate our fight or flight nervous system, right? So one thing that I measure as well is called a heart rate variability. And that is, rather than just the heartbeats, it will actually tell you the difference between each heartbeat. So say you've got like 3 heartbeats, right? And the difference between these 2 is this, and the difference between these 2 is this. There's a variation, right? It's not consistent, which means you're not as recovered. And it's just one tool you can use to figure out how recovered are you. And ideally, on the days that you're well recovered, then you can push yourself and you can work hard and you can make those bigger decisions or financial decisions. And the days where you're less recovered and maybe the stress is higher, maybe they're not the days you make those big decisions or you do your workout. Maybe you do a little bit of stretching instead. So I think it's a case of, eating lots of, eating vegetables and eating, salad and things like that where possible, and not eating too much salt. Okay, and just being mindful of that, because just to put it into perspective, I used to buy these paninis at Costa, and I remember looking at the packet and there's like it was like over 2 grams of salt within that, and most people, you're not meant to eat more than 2 grams of salt a day, let alone in one sandwich. So I would be very mindful of the amount of salt that you're eating as well. Hope that answers your question and gives you a few places to start.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I would also say like avoiding the cold meats and cheeses because they tend to have really
They're
high
quite
salt
salty,
as well.
yeah.
So if you're
Yeah,
gonna get it,
definitely.
I like, for me, the obvious sandwich that I get if I want to make sure I'm not having too much salt is I'll just go for an egg mayo sandwich. That is
Mm,
like that's the one where I know I can like I'm gonna be able to be all right. It's about one
yeah,
gram
yeah,
or
yeah.
just
That's
don't
which is better.
sandwiches at all. Just a bowl of salad
Love it.
instead.
And the other thing is as well, meditation. If you're not doing meditation already, and just connecting with yourself and focusing on what you're grateful for. I like to do that in the morning, even if it's just 2 minutes, because if you
Yeah.
do that at the beginning of the day, what you do is you raise your vibration. So your body can only repair itself when you're in a certain brain frequency. If you're in a beta brainwaves where you're more stressed, right, you're thinking about all the things you've got to do, and your body won't be healing at that time as effectively anyway. Whereas when you get to alpha, delta, gamma, all the different higher frequency brainwaves, your body goes into a recovery state. Not only does your vibration increase and you're more focused and clearer, but also you're able to send healing messages throughout your body, and your body can do what it needs to do as well. So if you do that even just 2 minutes in the morning, then periodically throughout the day, all you have to do is just take a couple of deep breaths and reconnect to that, and you're just reconnecting to the frequency that you set at the beginning of the day.
Amazing. That's great. Yeah. Does that help, John? Yeah, I think he said, yeah, great advice there. Thank you. Does anyone else have
Awesome.
any questions they want to ask? Just put it out and just see if anyone comes up with any questions. Well, I have a question actually.
Awesome.
So yeah, I've been asking you a lot of my questions as well and getting them answered earlier on, which is great. But I'd love to I'd love to know, if you really want to take your health and wellness to kind of the next level, not just being kind of well, because I have quite a lot of people in my audience who are already actually pretty good at looking after themselves.
That's great. That's
What
great.
what do you recommend, in terms of taking your health and wellness to that next level? Maybe you're already exercising, you're already eating well. Is there anything else that people can add in that would just give them another kind of boost? I don't know if there's anything you recommend, even if it's supplements or, something else entirely that you think, oh, this is a real, superfood or a real like amazing thing you
Mm,
can do.
yeah, there's definitely there's always another level that you can reach, and there's always a more effective way of doing what you're currently doing. So I would look at how much you're doing and how much effort you're putting in to start with. That'd be the first place. Because if you feel that, if you to ask yourself right now, for example, what results am I getting 0 to 10? How happy am I with them? And then what's the effort that I'm putting in 0 to 10? Now, if the effort's more than the results you're getting, then something's off, right? There's definitely some refining that you can do, or some habits that you can improve, or even do less but more effectively, perhaps. So ask yourself 0 to 10, how happy am I with my results, or what results am I getting? And how much effort am I putting in 0 to 10? And therefore, how sustainable is that? Because the most important thing is, first of all, that it's sustainable. There's no,
Mm.
sorry, I got that call come through. There's no point following something that is unsustainable to get quick results, because you just create that yo-yo dynamic. So first of all, antioxidants are a big thing. I take a lot of antioxidants because of the high demand, high stress lifestyle that I do have. I do a lot of training. I work with a lot of people. I work a lot of hours. I love what I do, but antioxidants are really important. So I take a supplement called MOA, which is the mother of all, and it's got 36 superfoods from around the world, including like aloe vera and turmeric and bioperine, which to absorb the turmeric, because turmeric's not very absorbable. And then it also has like, sorry, aloe vera and things like that in it. It's got super mushrooms. So you can get antioxidants from things like
Mm.
spirulina, chlorella. You can you can get it from dark green leafy vegetables. You can get it from blueberries or brainberries. You can get it from like kale. There's loads of different foods have these antioxidants, and it just supports that high stress lifestyle. So it allows you to
Mm.
recover that little bit quicker. Omega-3 is crucial. If you're not taking at least 1 gram a day to 2 grams, that's something that you can improve. That's a very, very easy thing to change. Because it will reduce inflammation, it will lubricate your joints, it's good for your heart. And also if, for example, you could be doing everything perfectly, but if your omega-6 levels are way too high and your omega-3 is too low, and that ratio is off, because that's what's important, the ratio, that will cause inflammation, which will then, inflammation is the biggest block to losing weight as well. And it may cause hormonal challenges and stuff like that. So when it comes to improving your health, it's like I take my clients through four stages. You've got assess, which is finding out where you're at, getting massive clarity. Then it's plan. So you've got to create a plan that you feel is right for you, which is probably where most people are at. And also refine, which is the third phase, which is you always want to look at your habits, think, how can I improve that habit? How can I progress that habit? Um, when it comes to training, most people they'll follow the same program for years, or do the same types of exercises, the same sort of routine, and there isn't any progression. So what
Mm.
here's my biggest tip: find out your key metrics for your health. Okay, do a quick test, find out how fit you are, how far you can cycle in 5 minutes on a stationary bike on a certain level, see how far you can do that, how far you can go, and see if you can improve that. Find out what's your current waist size, how many of certain exercise can you do, how strong you find out whatever metrics are important to you, and then always look to next month, see if you can just take it 1 notch, improve it a tiny bit, and have that as your new set point. And at some point you can go, okay, it's fine, I just want to maintain it here. But the
Yeah,
idea is that as we age, we're always improving our fitness, always improving our health. And I want to be healthier and fitter at 50, 60 than I am now at 28. I want to
absolutely.
keep improving it. I don't want to stagnate. I want to at least maintain and then improve a little bit. Maintain, improve a little bit, and constantly think, what's my vision with my health? What's the body that I want to work towards? Which I'm pretty much almost there. But for me, it was more about performance, right? I wanted to have better energy, more performance, and also get the same results in less time. So I actually went from training 6 hours a week to now training maybe an hour to 2 hours a week. And then I do ice skating with my partner
Amazing.
as well. But
Oh,
I've reduced it by a lot, and I get the same results, if not more. And what you were saying about the results are easier to maintain, and you're doing
yeah,
less, and it's not feeling a lot of effort. That is the beauty. When
yeah.
you smash through that barrier, right now you're feeling like it's a lot of effort, it's because you haven't quite broken through that barrier yet. You haven't quite figured it out fully. Like what you're doing is working, but you haven't
Yeah.
quite refined it enough to the point where now you've gotten the results and it's maintaining it. Because as you get fitter and healthier, you can do less, you can do the same in less time, and it's so much
Ah,
easier to maintain. Does that
okay.
make sense? So
That
whereas
does. I
I would
love
do,
it. I love it.
yeah,
You've just totally thrown my thinking on its head.
yeah,
I was like thinking I'm not doing enough because it's too easy. And yet you're actually making me aware that like, no, actually it's okay that it's easy. I'm at the
yeah,
weight I want to be. I'm, feeling as, lively and healthy as I want to feel. But actually maybe the kind of next step that in terms of I would like to have to be more limber. I would really like that
yeah,
because I used to do stretches every day and then they kind of got pushed out in favor of the walking and and it's like I really want more limberness and I loved how I
yeah,
felt when I was doing yoga every day.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm getting from you that actually if I just start with thinking, well, I'll just do it once a week, maybe either go swimming or do the yoga once a week,
yeah,
and it can just be like and let it be easy and see what happens, see what the results are from that.
exactly. Small
What
goal.
is my head
Yeah,
automatically thinking I've got to do it every day.
definitely.
So yeah, so that's really helpful. Thank you so much. That's
My
actually
pleasure.
really that's given me a really good insight into where my thinking was actually wrong and it was affecting my
Ah,
ability to even get started.
so yeah,
You know,
wow. Okay, there you go. So we
yeah,
have we have all these barriers that we may not even be aware of, and it's
yeah,
just figuring out and then finding the right strategy and putting the right thing in place and then refining it in the right way. And yeah, that's it. I love it.
fantastic. Ah, this has been great. So, how can people get hold of you if they're interested in working with you? Talking to you about having your help with addressing a health issue or losing weight or something like that. What's the best way for them to contact you?
Awesome. Yeah. So there's a few ways that I work with people where I do the DNA testing. I'm running a challenge where people can win a holiday, and I also offer coaching as well as online. If you wanted to talk about anything specific to your health, or maybe you have back pain, or you want to lose weight, or there's something that's not quite working, then I always have a 15-minute chat. There's no sale on that call. We'll just find out what is it that you need, because sometimes you might just need one thing. That might be all
Yeah.
you need, and then you can go off and do it on your own. It might be that you need a lot more support, in which case it's really important that we spend 15 minutes together and work out a clear plan as to how you'll move forward, because that could literally save you years of trial and effort, right? So reach out to me on Messenger if you've got any questions. If you wanted to talk to me further, just send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I'm more than happy to have a chat with you. We can arrange a time in the next few weeks. And of course, not everyone needs my help, and that's totally cool. But anyone who does sign up or signs up for the challenge has a chance to win a 7-day holiday. So if you can message me if you want to find out more about that as well.
Yeah, so actually, would it be all right to put your challenge in the comments as well here? Just
Yeah,
if,
yeah, yeah,
if
of
people
course.
want to take your challenge, that'd be
Yeah,
great. So
absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
I'll get the link from you after this, and then we can pop it into the group.
Fantastic, cool.
Fantastic.
That'll be running next month. It's a 30-day challenge, and there's going to be 5 7-day stays in Tenerife or Spain that I'll be giving away. The funny thing is, if there's only 5 people on the challenge, everyone's going to get one. If there's 10 people on,
Yeah,
you've got a 1 in 2 chance. If there's 20 people on, you get 1 in 4 chance. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So I'll let you know the details of that, and then you can post it below this video as well. Yeah.
incredible, incredible. What an inspiration to do the challenge, knowing that you
Yeah,
might end up
exactly.
in Tenerife. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, why
Well,
not?
Joey,
Holiday next year.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Joey, for coming
My
and
pleasure.
agreeing to be on my interview. It's great to speak to you. I've got so many great ideas about how I can move forward, even for me, and I'm sure that people watching have got a lot out of this as well. with some
I'm
great
so glad to
engagement.
hear that.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, thank you very much, and I will make sure that you're in the group anyway. So if people have
Yep.
questions, they can always just ask you a question in the group. Fab.
Perfect. Thank you
Well,
so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll speak with you guys soon.
lovely. Thanks,
All
Joey.
right. Take care.
So
Thanks, Shelley.
yeah, so
Bye.
guys, we will be carrying on doing these great interviews. We've got a lot of great coaches lined up for you in November. If you are interested in me interviewing you, please just send me a private message. I'm definitely looking for more coaches to interview kind of later. We're kind of pretty full up until later in the year, but definitely would love to hear from you and do an interview with you on here. All right. Bye for now, guys. Thanks for joining us.